Hello, my name is Greg Potter. I am a general marketing major with a recreation management minor, and I'm graduating in December of 2023. My goal with this portfolio is not necessarily to take it to hiring managers and apply for jobs as soon as I graduate college. I actually already have a full-time job lined up when I get out of college at the same place I did my internship at, called Misty Mountain Threadworks. I'll get more into that later in the presentation. But this is more of a relaxed thing, kind of just meant for me to be able to look back in the future after college and just kind of see what I did over college and get an idea and try to remember some of the lessons I learned throughout college. As you can see by this picture of me, it's not a professional headshot or anything. That's because I don't really need it to be. I'm not going and applying for a professional job. I have a job with a rock climbing company, so it's quite a bit more relaxed than anything in the corporate world. In terms of my e-portfolio, for goal one, students will think analytically to successfully solve problems. I chose a paper that I wrote in my integrated marketing communications class. This paper, it was along with a group, and we wrote it about it was a marketing plan for a company that was local to Boone. This company that we chose was Sky Valley Zip Tours, and I actually happened to be the manager at Sky Valley Zip Tours, so that was super helpful in being able to figure out all the information and the background information that we need. And this was a super interesting and rewarding project because we were able to actually make a marketing plan and execute things. If we scroll down, you can see some of the example Instagram posts that we had. Scroll down a little bit further. Yeah, right here you can see the actual Instagram posts that we made up. And what was super cool about this project is I was actually able to operationalize the suggestions we made in this paper, and they actually did a good job and were successful in great marketing campaigns for Sky Valley Zip Tours. For the second goal, being able to communicate effectively in writing and speech, I chose a presentation that I did in my CIS 3060 final report. In this, we use a lot of data and data visualization tools called Tableau in order to get an idea about the tobacco market and the trends behind it. And that, primarily the trends behind cigarette usage and e-cigarette usage, because we believe those were the most entertaining or interesting. For goal three, about the ethical issues and responsibilities of society, I chose a paper that I wrote way back in my sophomore year writing class about the ethics of overseas manufacturing. This paper focused on the ethics of overseas manufacturing, specifically in Bangladesh. I focused on Bangladesh because I had already done a research paper previously in Bangladesh, so I figured it'd be nice to build upon my knowledge. And it was a super interesting topic. In Bangladesh, they mostly make textiles, so it was really, really interesting to be able to see what processes they use, what kind of labor they use, the expenses behind it, and everything like that. And it's even more interesting to look back upon because now I work for a textile manufacturing company that actually exclusively manufactures in the United States. And we are one of the only companies in the United States to do that. Most of the major companies that have a bigger market share than us actually manufacture overseas. A lot of these Asian countries, just because the cost of labor is so much cheaper. For goal four, I chose the website that I made for Misty Mountain Threadworks. I spent most of my internship this summer, or a good portion of it, constructing and building this website from scratch. We chose to build a new website because our old one was a little bit outdated and a little bit just not working super well. It was causing some internal issues. So we decided to go with a new website builder, and we chose Shopify just for various reasons. And the goal was just to make it a little bit more navigable and a little bit easier to understand everything. So this is the homepage. You can scroll down. The product layout and all the answers are pretty straightforward to find. Here's the page with all our recreation harnesses that we sell, and it's quite a few. Several challenges did occur while putting together this website, one of which was we have a custom harness builder, but the software for it is not working. And the company that we use the software through is actually not very helpful. They do not have the best customer service, and their development has been very, very slow. So I think we're going to try switching soon. I have a meeting this upcoming Tuesday, so hopefully we can get that working soon. And then another big challenge I faced was trying to get this retailer and dealer list to work. So this was all custom coding that I did myself. I did not know how to code. I had to learn how to just for this. And it's not super complicated code, obviously, but I was able to take all of our retailers and give them all their own little sections in their state and then link it to their embed a Google Maps in there. So that was a really interesting and challenging thing that I did. And I'm super proud of this website and I'm excited to keep working with this company. For the fifth goal, I chose the business communications in Bangladesh paper that I wrote for my business communications class. This paper was really interesting. It was my third research paper that I wrote on Bangladesh, and it was a really interesting paper because it kind of helped me understand a completely different culture than what I'm used to. Bangladesh is particularly or primarily Muslim, and where I grew up in America is predominantly Christian. So it's a completely different culture. They have completely different social norms and everything. And being able to research this not only helped me if I ever want to visit Bangladesh, but pretty much any predominantly Muslim country. It will help me understand the business communications and everything behind that. For my capstone, I chose to address when I worked at Misty Mountain Threadworks. This is super, super important to me and super valuable to me. I chose it. I did my internship here. I'm going to continue to work here. This is where my full-time job is. It's a rock climbing harness manufacturer, as you saw with the website that I presented a little bit ago. And it's not a super big company. Everything's made in the USA. There's probably 15 people that work there, most of those being production staff. And it's right down the road in Banner Elk, about 15 minutes away from App State's campus. And I'm super proud to work here. The people there are super nice, and I feel like there's a great room for me to grow, and it's a super great experience for me. So that's it as far as my goals and everything. I have my resume in there as well. But in terms of help, support, and guidance throughout college, I think the biggest help and support and guidance has actually been from my work experience. The two most important jobs I've had over college have been my internship at Misty Mountain, which I've already talked a lot about, and my job at Sky Valley Zip Tours. Sky Valley Zip Tours was one of the first jobs I became a manager at, and I actually got to do a lot of things I'd never thought I'd be able to do at such a young age. I was able to help with the hiring. I did almost all of the hiring this year. I did a lot of the opening and closing for the season, and it was just a really complete and total package of a job, and it helped me learn so much over my time there. My boss there, Jack Sharp, is this very nice guy, and he's really helped me throughout college and give me some great advice. Same with my boss at Misty Mountain, Goose. They've been super instrumental to my learning over this past year. In terms of actual classes, I'd say my favorite class and the most helpful for me was my strategic marketing class that I'm taking right now. And it was with Harvey Simon, and he is an amazing professor. He's taught me so many important things, and he does a really great job of actually making the class feel more like you're learning about real life scenarios rather than concepts, which I appreciate so much. My most transformational experience has been certainly my job at Misty Mountain. It was the jumping point. My internship this past summer was the jumping point from where I felt like a kid working their first few jobs to starting my career. It really gave me an idea of what I want to do, what marketing is about, what sales is about, and it was a super transformational experience, and I appreciate it so much. I'm so excited to keep working with that company and see where I can go. Future goals, I have that job at Misty Mountain. I'll be staying in Boone for the foreseeable future, and I just want to grow as much as I can there. I've been hoping to take every job I can take and just learn and grow as much as I can while in that job before moving to another job. I believe I have a lot of room to grow in this job, so I'm super excited to just get back to work. Once I graduate in December, I'll be working there full time, and I'm just super, super excited to start that. Ultimately, my experience at the Walker College of Business has been great. I believe I've learned a lot throughout my time here. It's been a very valuable learning experience to me. I'm happy with the major I took. I think I'm really going to enjoy marketing as a career, and I'm excited to keep working at it and become an alumni.